Cameron obviously doesn't like to hear me talk because he turned the music up when I started talking. Does everyone know where the restrooms are? 6134 is the code.
It's on
right
a,
by the
yeah,
door
it's on
your
a little
way out.
frame by the door.
Oopsie. All right.
Oh.
Or I can put it on your forehead in a Sharpie. Your neighbor could figure out what it is. Or you can take a selfie once I put it up there. I see Sean back there busy making your breakfast. Do we have muffins this morning also, Sean? Great.
Wow.
There's hot coffee, hot tea. If you go up to a pot, let someone know and we'll get it refilled. Who's that? Was that you? Who's that? You're welcome to chat amongst yourselves during the show, just not overly loud. But we don't mind a little din in the background. And then Loretta is our audience motivator.
Yeah. If you see me clap, please also clap, because otherwise I'm just clapping for myself. It gets a little weird.
It's a lot.
It happens.
It's a lot weird.
It does happen, like not that infrequently.
We have had a busy week wrapping up with New Year's Eve here.
Yeah.
You can see we have some leftover decor from New Year's Eve here in the school.
Christmas went down fast, and New Year's Eve, and now taking that down.
Yep.
Wow. No messing around.
It's almost Valentine's Day.
I've seen stuff in
Rory
the stores
this morning,
already.
my 3.5-year-old said, "Mommy, what holiday is it today?" And
8 days of
like,
Hanukkah.
after Christmas and 8 days of Hanukkah, this kid is like every day.
That's cute.
We're going to run right through this. So it'll take about almost 2 hours. Come and go as you please. I better put these on. I didn't need these before the new year, but now that we're in the new year.
I can print things bigger font if you like.
No, that's okay.
Okay. Size 16.
Welcome to the Hot Stove Society show on Cairo Radio. Thank you for joining us. We have a nice audience here this morning, all dressed and ready for the new year. Welcome 2025. Since I don't really know, I think that this year, 2025, will be the celebration of the 25th anniversary of the Hot Stove Society radio show.
Just call it. That
Great,
sounds
yeah,
good.
just-
Yes.
do it. Let's just
do
celebrate
it. I was trying to
25
figure
all
out
year
how
long.
you could
I
get
don't
the
really
details.
remember.
Yeah.
And last week, or what day was it? Maybe the day before Christmas or something like that, I went to Dave Ross's last
Right.
show after 47 years at Cairo, or
Wow.
48 years in the morning. And I reminded him, and he did not remember, that the reason I have this show is that the producer at Cairo, the show programmer, asked me to come cover for him for a day while he was on vacation. I said, "Do what?" Yeah, it's just 3 hours live.
Uh-huh. Every Saturday.
Just talk.
Well,
It's
no,
fine.
that was 5 days a week at the time.
Wow.
So I did, I think, 1 or 2 days, and her name was Chris, and she said, "Well, you're good at this. You should just have a show. So you want to do a weekend show?" So I started doing it.
There you go.
7 years live on Saturday mornings.
Wow.
And then after that, we went to a taped version like we are doing today.
What a difference.
It's just different.
So now you have,
But anyway, so I brought Dave a coconut cream pie,
that was
and
nice.
he loved it.
so you got 22 more years if he's at 47.
He's at 47, 48. Yeah. So this will be the 25th anniversary year of the Hot Stove Society radio show, even though the school's only been open 10 years.
And it was Seattle Kitchen.
I'm Tom Douglas.
I'm Loretta Douglas.
And as you know, we've had several co-hosts over the years, but mostly Chef Terry, who we
Yes.
missed dearly.
Very much.
We just finished his promotion at the Palace Kitchen. We've been
Oh.
running his mom's pot-au-feu that people have been able to purchase since his birthday. It was September 26th up until New Year's Day.
Mhm.
And we raised about $16,000
Wow.
for IPF research, which is the incurable disease that he passed away from. We're really proud of that.
Absolutely.
I had my last bowl of it on New Year's Eve after
Did you?
doing class here.
Mm.
Yeah, it was delicious. And
Sweet.
we'll see how that goes. We have a big show for you today. We're coming to you from the kitchen studios here at the beautiful Hotel Andra in downtown Seattle, 4th and Virginia. And we have a semi-full house. I would say it's a pretty full
Yeah,
house.
it's a good audience today.
We're going to have chorizo this morning, Spanish tortilla, which is a potato and onion omelet type thing. We're going to have some ruby chard that's sauteed with our taco spice. It's really citrusy and mild chili. It's delicious. And some blueberry muffins. You know, it is blueberry season. I don't know if you realize that.
Somewhere.
Every time I go to the freezer, it's blueberry season.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Always berry season in my house.
Couple of upcoming classes. You know, we do both public and private classes here. Private being kind of companies that rent us out for team builders and or special events. And then we do public classes and a few public classes that are coming up. Catch of the Sea with Chef Sean McFadden. There's a couple of tickets left for that on January 10th. And I talked to Sean, and it's going to be like a Cioppino type build throughout the class.
Oh, fun.
With some variations and some salads and things to go with it. Xiao Ching Chow, who's written several books on American style. No, that's the wrong way to put that. Chinese soul food. So simple approaches. Accessible
food,
to
I would
Chinese
say.
food. Yeah. That's January 11th. And Learn and Taste. It was her theme for her class. Garlic shrimp with gailan, Westlake beef soup, and hot and sour Taiwanese cabbage.
Yum.
My thing that Danae's doing, Danae's with us this morning. She's going to do a class on mastering homemade eggs Benedict. I think people are intimidated by eggs Benedict, mostly because of the hollandaise, and then secondly because of poaching eggs.
Yeah, those are my two. Those would be my two holdups on eggs Benedict.
Really?
Yeah.
What makes you nervous about poaching eggs?
I have not mastered the swirl to stop the spread.
To stop the spread. And, you know, vinegar helps that.
Yeah.
Also, not a boiling water, right? Simmering water helps that. And then I'm giving away some.
Yeah, you're giving away Danae's class
also,
right now.
making an egg cup. So breaking an egg into a cup so that you know it's whole and not going to break in the water. And then you gently dip it into the water.
Okay.
So gentle is the key for eggs Benedict in all ways, except for the English muffin. Then you have to double toast that.
Oh,
Sunday.
yeah. It needs to be
I can't stand an untoasted
crispy.
English muffin. Okay, on today's show, we kick off the new year with 2025 food trend highlights. Mckin Hall is here. She's going to help us with that and also talk about her new book. We're diving into hearty winter soups. Becky, what's up with that? Do you have a favorite?
I have so many favorites.
Like what? If you had a one go-to winter soup, what would it be?
Well, I'm with Loretta in the broccoli and cheddar cheese.
Oh, my Lord.
Yes.
That is so trashy. You know, that's the number one selling soup at Costco.
Trashy good.
Yep.
Yeah. Or at least it used to be. I don't know. We're okay. Broccoli cheddar. I didn't expect that from you. I thought you were a classy lady.
Veggie.
Yeah. Sam Spelman is here from Cafe Vita. They're going to unveil some new pours for the new year. And Lance and Lori Kesner are here, creators of Millie's Sipping Broth. And I went online last night to maybe buy a batch, but they're all combo packs. And so today I'm assuming they're going to bring
it in. We get to taste them.
So
you bet.
Now I'll know what to buy. And of course, we're going to wrap things up with food for thought, tasty trivia. Why not?
Kick your behind again.
Oh, again now. I love how that again just popped in when she won for the first time in, 2 years?
Hey.
She was a winner last weekend.
All right, what's your taste of the week? You know, you're supposed to think about this before the show.
This is supposed to come prepared.
I'll go.
You go first.
Okay.
Oh, I know what mine is.
So last night we decided to eat out of the freezer instead of stopping at the grocery store on the way home because there's still so much stuff around. Like I have 4 pints of sauteed chard in my freezer from my manager dinner that I did. I had a little extra, so I just pack it up, put it in the freezer in usable size containers, you know, different things like that. Butternut squash from Thanksgiving, you know, lots of things to use up. Sauteed onions and peppers from this summer. So I had a little half pint of mushroom duxelle left from a dinner that I had made for mushroom toast. So I pulled that out, some onions and peppers, some butternut squash, some Parmesan cheese, some breadcrumbs, and some of that Meredith dairy goat cheese from Australia, that
sheep
goat
and goat.
sheep combo. Put it all together, and Jackie and I made pasta, and then we made raviolis out of that filling.
Oh, nice.
I can't tell you
Sounds
the last
so
time
good.
I did
I don't know
that.
the last time you guys made pasta. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mom used to make fresh pasta more.
But
But
she used to make more like noodles.
Yeah.
This was actual ravioli, and
she said it was a lot of work.
I was going to say.
it was a lot of work, but we have 3 dinners worth.
Yeah,
Unless you come over, and then there's
half a dinner worth.
your husband doesn't eat mushrooms, so it's like
That's why you stuck him in there.
Yeah, exactly. You have to do that if you want to keep pasta around him.
yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, so that was my taste of the week, because it was not just a taste. I did accomplished a few things. We had dinner. We used up things out of the freezer.
Put them back in the freezer.
IQF the extra ravioli, put them back in the freezer.
Yeah,
And we didn't spend any money. It was
Yeah.
all useful things.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invite.
Yep.
Well,
Well, the problem these days is you can't invite my daughter to dinner anymore. You can invite my daughter and her wild 3 children
Mm-hmm.
and her nanny or au pair
hmm
and her husband who doesn't eat mushrooms.
hmm
That's a lot to invite.
Yeah, well, I thought you were in hospitality.
Yeah.
I've been experimenting with bread a bit. I've never been a bread baker before. And let's be clear, I'm starting out with like white sandwich bread because that is what we go through by the Costco load full in my house. And so I've been trying to make my own, and it's been really fun. But I tried a new roll recipe on Christmas.
Yep.
Was that on Christmas? And I thought those were the pinnacle of my bread baking so far.
Uh-huh.
They came out really good. They were super fluffy. I'd never made a recipe like that. You actually cut them out in circles and then like swipe them through melted butter and then fold them in half and put them in the pan.
Let them proof.
And let them proof again. And they came out really good, super buttery. Brushed them again with melted butter when they came out. And they held really well. We had them a few days later and they were still delicious, I thought.
Mhm.
But
Well, I'm impressed because a year ago you did shortcut or scratch and you did dinner rolls because you said you just couldn't make them
Yeah.
on your own. So that's look how far you've come.
well,
here.
Christmas is a little different
Yeah.
of an occasion. I don't typically make them, but most of the bread recipes I feel like that I make 2 loaves. And so I have been often making 1 loaf for the next few days for the kids, and then I'll make rolls for that night for dinner.
So where did you steal this recipe from? Give them credit.
It's actually from a home design blog that I follow, but the husband is like a avid cook. It's called Chris Loves Julia. And it was his mom's recipe that he posted around Thanksgiving, I think. And I'd seen
so
it
was
and
an in-house recipe,
Yeah,
essentially. It wasn't
yeah.
like out of the New York Times.
no,
or
it's
something.
his mom's recipe that he grew up with. And I was interested in the dipping and folding process. So I had kind of bookmarked it in my favorite cooking app, Deglaze. And
Deglaze is the name of the app.
yes, we're
They're
going to have
coming
them on
later
the
this
show.
month.
I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with this app. I can't wait to talk
And
about it.
what is the one thing that you can't live without in this app? Because these are the things that
You can take any recipe from any website or like New York Times Cooking, or you can take
Your
a picture of
cookbooks?
a book
she would
and-
never use my cookbooks. Let's not go crazy.
and you tap a button and it turns it into like an itemized list. And then you can tap another button and it adds it to a grocery list by department. And you tap another button and it multiplies it out for you. And
So you just cut and paste essentially the recipe, and then
no, you literally just send it to the app
send
from
it,
the
okay.
browser or from the photo that you took of the cookbook, and it digitizes it. And they use AI. So like a lot of cooking blogs, they go on and on and on and on for like 5 pages before they get to the recipe.
because
so
they're
you-
trying to sell ads.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
can click a little button and it gets rid of all of that and just gets you down to the rest. It's the best ever.
And it's called Deglaze.
Deglaze. And they're coming on.
the
in
30th of January.
in a couple weeks.
The taping. Yeah.
Fun. All right, when we come back, what's new for 2025? Mckin Hall is going to join us at the mic on Cairo Radio. It's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM. Whew.
I'm going to send them that bit.
Oh.
Listen to this bit. So stoked. I talked to one of the
They're
lives in-
flying in from London.
One
Not for this show.
Yes.
Angel lives in London. And
I was like, tell them that we're not that.
Joel lives here.
Yeah, one of
They'll
them.
do business and other things. We're super stoked.
I don't
Get
know
right
why.
You have to
up on
stay
it.
right up on top of
Why
it,
do they
McKinney.
sometimes come off? And
A little
sometimes
practice?
I don't know.
Can I
but
bring it
there's
down a little?
Something
Yeah.
is not right.
Just
Our,
get
our
really,
muffins aren't in their right spot today. Something is not right. So you can play hockey with these things.
What's that from? Something is not right. Something's very wrong.
Something is not right. That's why I wrote this song. Anybody got this?
Sesame Street?
Come on.
It's from Madeline, right?
Madeline.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nurse Flavel. Running down the stairs. Something is not right. I'm very disappointed in you all. That's what you grew up on.
I know. I remembered.
Barely.
Oh, good.
One of the what?
Someone is
Oh,
practically an influencer over here.
practically. Maybe if you got out of your sleeping
This is
bag.
So, No, my sleeping bag is keeping me
It's been hung.
toasty warm.
Okie doke. Welcome.
Thank you.
So nice to see your smiley face.
Thank you. So nice to be here.
All right, here we are back in the kitchen at the Hot Stove Society show. Don't forget to come join us sometime. Go to hotstovesociety.com, buy a ticket, and have some breakfast with us. Mckin Hall has jumped on the mic. She's got a new book out called Simple Goodness, No Fuss. Pardon me. You want to? I said something bad about the blueberry muffin, and now they're trying to choke me.
Karma.
She's got a new book out called Simple Goodness, No Fuss, Plant-Based Meals Straight from Your Pantry. Welcome to our show, Mckin.
Thank you. Very
I
much.
see your face,
Yes.
and I don't see you very often, but I do see you on King TV because you and I swap weeks every month or so. You do two, and I do two
Yes.
on the evening show
Yes.
on
yes.
King TV. So
Yeah.
That's when I see your face the most.
That's when I see your face too.
Is it? Because I don't switch on just to watch me, but sometimes we watch King News.
Yeah,
King
I
5
never watch
News,
me either.
and then it's just you get distracted by making dinner, and all of a sudden
There you are.
I look up and I'm on TV, and then the same thing with you. I see you on TV. So you've been doing that quite a long time. I've been doing it over 10 years.
I think I've been doing it. I think I'm coming up on 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
And you are famous for your no fuss plant-based meals. You have a first book out too, right?
I do. I wrote my first book over a decade ago. I think it was when I first opened. And it was called Plum initially, and now it's called McKinney's Kitchen. We did a 10-year reprint.
A 10-year reprint.
Yes.
So interesting. Okay, McKinney, I'm going to put you on the spot
Yes.
right here, right now,
Yes.
because this whole segment is about Becky. Why don't you tell us?
You bet. We're talking about food trend highlights for 2025. And we searched through almost a dozen different articles and kind of got a compilation.
did?
Well, my chat GPT did. After about 20 minutes, I went, there's got to be an easier way.
Uh-huh.
And it was magic. So I picked out the ones that were the most popular and the ones that I thought would be fun conversation. But I want to start with 2024 was the year of the pickle. From pickle mayo, hummus, gummy vitamins,
Pickle gummy vitamins.
Mhm. Goldfish, Clausen spritz soda, dill pickle infused cake, and pickled buttercream icing. So what I thought this was cute. Sour
Pickled buttercream icing was a trend in 24.
No, it was pickles. Everything pickles was
Okay.
2024. That was the biggest one, and that was just one of the
Recipes?
One of the
Oh.
things that came up.
I'm glad I missed that one.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So I thought this was cute. Sour has duality. When meat or milk or vegetables develop a sour smell, it signals spoilage. It's a natural warning system. We equate sourness with risk. On the other hand, when sourness is intentional, lemon, cider vinegar, Greek yogurt, it becomes a marker of health and appeal. It shifts the perception of sourness from risk to something acceptable.
That's kind of cool.
I thought it was kind of cool. Yeah.
That is kind of cool.
So 2025, things that came up a lot were global flavors, fusion, and using sauces to accomplish that without a big commitment.
So your sources here shows the National Geographic.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't have guessed that.
They have a
was-
travel section at Travel and Food.
Forbes, New York Times, Food and Wine, Southern Living, Delish,
and
more of the
probably
same.
5 more. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so global flavors have been around as the new rage for, I will tell you, a long time. There was a time when I, being a very Caucasian chef, back in my Cafe Sport days in 1983, 84, was getting so much attention for my Asian fusion, right? I would put Kasazuke cod on the menu and things, seaweed salad, and I was getting all this attention. And I always, people would say, well, what do you think the next thing's going to be? I said, the people that actually created this food are going to get famous instead of me, instead of me celebrating it, right? Yeah. And so I feel like
that's a way to put it, celebrating it. I love that.
Yeah, it has come to pass that we're starting to identify the people behind many of the food trends that we've seen. And I've been saying for 20 years that modern Indian food is the next craze, and it just hasn't happened.
Maybe that's 2026.
I think it's starting to happen
it's
right
starting
now.
To happen.
For sure. If you
I love the idea of the sauce, though, because for me, that's always looking for a shortcut. Like a sauce is one of the easiest shortcuts that you can take to completely
like a simmering
change.
Sauce? What are you saying?
A simmering sauce, but even you make your steak and then you use a Korean barbecue sauce one night, or you use on your same chicken, you use a romesco or a chimichurri or things like that. Like you can completely change the flavor profile of the same dish that you make all the time just by switching out your sauce.
And Makina, you probably do that at Plum a lot, right?
Yeah, sauces can save your life.
Yeah.
How does that save your life or save your cooking?
Well, like you were saying, it changes what you're making. If people are a little bit concerned about eating plants, if you sauce them up really nicely, that makes it a little bit more familiar. So I think they can really help a lot. And
so for you, like Loretta said, steak, you would, what is your go-to?
Tofu.
That's your go-to protein?
Tofu is my go-to protein, yeah. It's an ancient protein. It's been around forever. And it's a clean protein. So I think a lot of people there's a lot more awareness about it now. And it's changing. It's another thing that's changing.
So
protein is one of the things on Becky's list of
protein
like getting super popular and more emphasis in 2025.
Yeah, I mean, I notice when you go into places now and they ask you what protein you want, tofu makes the list of protein, which it didn't used to. It used to be like, you want what? But now it's made the list of proteins.
Right.
Which I think makes it more appealing to people because people understand that it's a protein.
And when you say tofu, when I walk down the aisles at a modern grocery store now, you can buy tofu in 25 different varieties, right? You can buy it silky, thick, firm. You can buy it fried. You can buy it with green onions and soy sauce. And
yes.
So,
well, a lot of tofu it's still in its white form and it's confusing. So a lot of people don't know what to do with it.
Right.
And I think, so what we do at Plum is we spice ours up. It's all spiced up and ready to go.
Okay.
So we have smoked tofu, we have a ginger tofu. So when it's flavored, then you get past the hurdle of what do I do with it, and it doesn't taste like anything.
You start somewhere. You actually start in the middle rather than at the beginning.
Yeah, because most people don't know how to make their own proteins. You don't make your chicken, you buy your chicken and then you flavor it. So if I flavor it, then that makes it more appealing, I think. Right. And it sets it apart from all of the tofus, the mini tofus that are on the market right now.
Exactly.
I feel like, just this is my little tofu rant, is that I feel like everybody buys extra firm tofu because it feels like it's the easiest one to work with, because you can like cut it and dice it and whatever.
Grill it.
Press it.
I just would encourage people to buy a soft or medium tofu because the mouth feels completely different. It acts in dishes completely differently. I think it tastes better, honestly, often than the extra firm. And branch out a little on your tofu.
Yes.
So I have a question here, Becky. On your list of global flavors, fusion, and the year of sauces, the viral hit like Chipotle's vinaigrette.
Yes.
So I don't know what that is. I have just been a recent discoverer of discoverer of Chipotle
Mhm.
because it's on my drive now across from the Interbay
Right.
Whole Foods there. It's in that little mall. I think it's fine,
Mhm.
and to me, it feels healthier than a lot of fast food. So, but isn't it interesting that a Chipotle vinaigrette
Right.
is a driver? Like
Right.
is that somehow exposing
I
people to
think that's-
vinaigrette?
Perhaps, and it's a social media piece, and that they shared their recipe with everybody. That's what
Their house recipe for
yes.
vinaigrette, not that it's a vinaigrette itself.
correct.
Okay.
I think it's also the burst of flavor. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like a Chipotle vinaigrette.
No,
it
no. I'm talking about
excites
the
a vinaigrette.
restaurant chain.
The restaurant
Yeah.
chain. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I know you're talking about this.
Okay.
But I mean, I think maybe that's what's different about like a McDonald's or something is that they're introducing a different, brighter,
Even the
zestier,
word
like,
vinaigrette.
it-
Yeah.
Well,
vinaigrette
it's the flavor
Yeah.
burst.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like it's
Sausage.
taking those international flavors and kind of tucking them into cultural American food. You know,
Mhm.
We just have a minute, but I thought this was kind of fun. Savory coffee drinks. Forget caramel mocha pumpkin spice lattes with 2 pumps of extra syrup. Savory coffee drinks are the next wave. Now this sounds interesting. Chefs are infusing coffee with sunchoke puree and avocado and flavoring drinks with ginger, lemongrass, and rosemary smoke. Sam Spillman from Cafe Vita is going to be here later, and we'll have to see if
We'll have to
that's
ask.
true.
I think rosemary smoke makes a lot of sense. When you
Mhm.
start adding sunchokes to coffee, for me, I don't even like it in the
That's-
first place.
right.
But I
Yeah.
do feel like we've seen kind of the explosion of like the mushroom
True.
coffees
Uh-huh.
in the marketplace as either a addition to coffee or an alternative to your
Mhm.
coffee. And I think that speaks to that. That's like the opposite of a sweet,
what kind of
fluffy
it's
drink.
kind of the advanced. Remember the turmeric
Yeah.
Mhm.
latte back in the day.
The
Like-
golden milk latte.
Yes,
yeah.
the golden milk latte.
Yeah.
Yes,
I still love that.
I still make them. It's delicious.
You still order
Oh,
that?
no, I make it myself. I
Oh, you
make
make
the
it
gold milk
yourself.
myself. Yeah, yeah. Well, we couldn't get to half of these, but there's lots of fun things. Email me if you want the list of what AI generated.
Exactly. So the AI generated brown sugar is the flavor of the year.
Agree or disagree?
I would say I love butterscotch,
Yeah,
which
sure.
is basically melted brown sugar,
Yeah.
and so I'd say why not?
Why not?
I think that goes to this other one that's nostalgia revival. Like to me, that brown sugary flavor is a nostalgic flavor. I think those could.
All right,
tie
McKinney's
together.
going to stay with us, and we're going to talk a little bit more about her new book, Simple Goodness, No Fuss, Plant-Based Meals Straight from Your Pantry. On Cairo Radio, it's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
So can we talk about your new adventure?
No, not yet.
No.
Well, are you? You said it's not out yet, right?
no, it's not.
Yeah, I would.
No,
I would
no.
have her back.
Okay. Okay.
No sense.
I saw an article on it, so I mean it's public. But.
I mean, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
No, I want to talk about the book.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the forward from Stevie and the tour.
Okay.
That's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, you had an awful lot of fancy names on your forward. Did you see that, Loretta?
No.
Well, Stevie Wonder wrote her forward,
Oh,
and then
casual.
some of the praise for her book is by Joaquin Phoenix, India R.A., Common, The Kitchen,
Casual.
Veg News. Yeah.
You get those people.
Quit
too.
showing off, McKinney.
You get those people too, right?
Yeah, I think
Just running around
I
cooking.
was trying to
plants.
think who endorsed my book. Nobody.
Take a look at it.
You're Tom
nobody.
Douglas.
Nobody. We are back here in the kitchen. Everyone's eating their breakfast. It's the Hot Stove Society Show from the Hotel Andra in downtown Seattle and our cooking school, which is up on the second floor towards the back. And Mckin Hall is joining us. Her new book, Simple Goodness, No Fuss, Plant-Based Meals Straight from Your Pantry. McKinney, let's just say you're connected, considering that the forward is by Stevie Wonder and the endorsement is by Joaquin Phoenix and more.
Yeah. It's
Why are you
casual.
laughing?
I'm not. I'm smiling.
This is pure jealousy looking at you right now.
No, don't do that.
Tell us about your new book.
So I'm very excited about my new book. It is a multi-generational book. I feel like it's made for the entire family. There's lovely stories of my tour with Stevie Wonder. I toured
what do
with
you mean
him.
that?
Well, I toured with him in 2015 on his Songs in the Key of Life tour.
Cooking for him or singing for him?
No, I can't sing. I cannot carry a note. But I can cook really well. So I was his personal chef for a year in 2015. And we went all over the place. And I learned a lot. And it was exceptionally fun.
Is he plant-based?
He was plant-based then. I believe he is pescatarian now.
Okay.
He went on a sort of a plant-based cleanse, I guess, and he was looking for a chef, and he came into my restaurant and he found me.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Love that.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
What were some of his favorites?
He didn't, the thing I liked about working for him was he didn't have any restrictions. It just had to taste good. So there was nothing. It was just
He's not
like
fussy.
whatever. No,
That's
wherever
great.
we landed and whatever was available, as long as it tasted good, bring it
He was
on.
in. That's awesome.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah.
And so in the book, you have lots of recipes. My guess is looking at the thickness, maybe 100 and 150 or so
Yes.
recipes.
Yes.
And you say it's multi-generational. And by that, you mean kids can cook from it?
Yes.
Or that it's from your family's
There's a kids
generation?
section.
No, there's a beautiful kids section in there. So I wrote it during the pandemic when there was constantly little children around. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. And oftentimes kids are hungry when you're not. So there are little meals in there. And there's lunchbox ideas in there. There's ideas for in between times. And in the sweetness of life section, there's desserts. And I also tell you, you don't have to be a pastry chef to cook dessert. You can get a box and cook a box cake.
We love a short.
Make it easy. Yes, make it easy for yourself.
One of my beefs.
Yes.
Tofus. One of your tofus.
What are your tofus?
One of my beefs about a lot of vegetarian cooking is that it comes across as fake meat cooking.
It does, right?
And I don't like
that.
it.
Is really annoying.
Yeah,
It
I
is.
just don't like it. So
I agree.
I think that there's areas where that really works, like on your oyster mushroom po' boy,
Yeah.
which is typically an oyster po' boy. I get it, but they are really oyster mushrooms, and I love that
Yes.
that kind of
Yes.
connection there. But
Yeah, I don't have
the
a
fake
ton of
hamburger thing.
No, I don't have a ton of fake meat in there. I do have a burger in there called My American Guy that's made out of Impossible or Beyond. But it's a nice mixture, I think, of grains and tofu and vegetables. But I'm not trying to be chicken or beef.
Yeah, I know. That's what I love about your
Yeah.
cooking is that it doesn't feel to me like you're trying to be a meat house,
No.
just with vegetables, faking
No,
it. You're
no.
a real vegan cook.
Yes, I like vegetables, and
Yeah.
I make vegetables very tasty.
Yeah.
And so I like to stick to that direction.
And you grew up vegan?
I did.
did? Okay.
My parents went vegan when I was, I think, 2.
Okay.
And my dad, before he passed, he had been vegan for 50 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
50.
50.
Holy smokes.
And he made his own tofus. Is that
He
correct?
made his own tofu. So, when you go vegan, you have to find something to eat.
Yes.
So we did a lot of grains, we did a lot of greens, we did a lot of beans. And then my parents started experimenting with tofu, tempeh, seitan. There's a whole world of plant proteins out there. And he made his own flavors of tofu.
Like what?
Like smoked tofu. He would smoke. He was from the South. So he knew he was a really good cook, and he knew how to cook meat really well. And then he decided to become vegan. But he would smoke tofu in a pit with coals on the bottom, like you would cook ribs.
Wow.
So he took all of his ideas from cooking meat and he transferred those to cooking plants. Jamaican spice, chorizo, all types of really tasty flavors he came up with.
And are you incorporating that in your restaurants?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes. I use all 7 flavors in the restaurant in some form or another. Usually the smoked is the most understandable. Or the taco mix, which is the chorizo one. We call it Baba's taco mix. We used to call him Baba. So we call it Baba's taco mix. And, there's a wide use for it. And it's in my book, in the macho burrito. So it's, just another world of plants that I grew up in.
What is the difference between tofu and tempeh? Do you know?
So tempeh is the hipper, cooler, younger sister of tofu.
Because people ask me that, and I have no idea.
Well, it's the way tempeh is made. Tempeh is the whole bean. and it's made like cheese. And
Like,
tofu
has a much different texture.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
harder, like more compressed, right? And
but it's
like,
also it's the bean.
lumpy.
It's the bean that's the lumpy
Yeah,
part.
okay.
Whereas the tofu, you take the bean and you grind it into milk, and
Okay.
then you coagulate it, and
I
then you
see.
turn it into tofu. But with tempeh, you just take the bean and you soak it and you ferment it, and then you pack it, and then you can flavor it. So it's more, it's better for your gut, I would say.
More
know.
fermented.
Yes.
And if you're making your own tofu, what do you do with the soy byproduct?
The okara, which is
Yeah.
a husk of the bean, you can recycle it into biodiesel fuel.
Oh wow! Well, I read somewhere that you with your tofu you make sauces out of the byproduct. Is that correct?
So from the soy milk, yes, I make a lot of dips and sauces from the soy milk. So it comes, from the bean, and then you grind it up, and you take the husk off, and then you have a milk, and then the milk it's soy milk. You can do anything with soy milk, and you can turn soy milk into tofu.
Did not know.
so cool.
Little tofu education this
Yeah,
morning.
I love it.
If
I
somebody
love
wants
tofu,
to
so.
explore veganism,
Yes.
is that a term? Veganism?
That is a
Yes.
term, yes.
If somebody wants to explore that and they've just bought your book because they've bought 6 new books, vegan cookbooks.
Yes.
How would you get them started?
Well, I say look at the
you want
pictures.
to feel success right away.
You do want to feel success right away. So the thing I like about that book is I made it, I consider this the prequel to my first book. My first book was super nerdy, and it was a lot of tempeh and a lot of marinades. This is, I make use of all of like the Impossible, the Beyonds. I use the products that are on the market.
Which weren't there, right?
That weren't there before, like Just Egg,
Right.
things that are closer to what you're familiar with eating. So I think that the recipes are very approachable. I think if you open up the book and you look through the pictures and you find a photo you like, give it a whirl, because it's simple to make and it will come out really tasty. Start in the lunch section or start in the kids section if you have kids. I try to make the entire book very approachable for the home cook versus for the chef.
Is it reasonable for someone to be a vegan a day a week? Like, we always talk about meatless Mondays, right? Where you're just trying to integrate some of the thoughts into your normal diet.
This book is geared towards the meatless Monday person. It's very understandable in that way. It's cultural American food. So the recipes you find, they won't send you in like 15 different directions for ingredients you've never heard of. There's lasagnas in there. There's BLTs, which I make with tofu, so it's a TLT. There's cauliflower in there. There's quinoa bowls in there. There's green juices in there, so it helps you to live a plant-based life every day if you want, or to live a couple of days a week if you want. So I think that readers will find it as an assist in the kitchen.
Yeah, so I think that's more the end game for me.
Yes.
I love vegetables. I always have.
We
You've
all
always had them
do.
on every dinner that I've ever made has a vegetable component to it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind trying to be more diligent about a meatless Monday or a vegan supper. Sitting down and making a vegan supper. It just doesn't generally occur to me.
Yeah.
But I'd like to be more mindful about it.
Well, it's kind of what you made last night, right? With the ravioli, you picked all the vegetables out of your freezer.
Yeah, I put a piece of king salmon on top.
Well, but see, with my book, you could do that, or you could put a piece of tofu on top.
Yeah,
it's designed in a way that you can be flexible. If everyone in your house is not into plant-based, it allows for you to think about how to interchange those proteins that you want, and how to eat a cleaner diet.
Right.
It doesn't force you to be vegan if that's not your jam.
right. All right, let's just say, and this is not true because I love tofu, but let's just say I hate it.
Yes.
Because we talk a lot about that in vegan food and vegan protein. Where are you headed if you don't have tofu in your fingertips?
Go to quinoa. Go to Beyond Meat or Impossible. Go to Just Egg. There's so much stuff out there now that you can use that you can help. It can help you to sort of lay the breadcrumbs to lead you into veganism. It's not as hard as it used to be, and things taste better now.
And the variety is incredible. Like
It
when you
is.
don't just go get a mushroom anymore. You
No,
have your
Yeah,
choice
every
of 10
menu
different-
doesn't have like a portobello
it
burger
doesn't.
on it anymore.
I think I only have one portobello recipe in there.
I know, and I love portobellos. I just love them.
And I don't have any nutritional yeast in there.
Oh, really?
Impressive.
Nutritional yeast is what a lot of people use to make something taste like bacon.
They do, or
cheesy,
it's
yeah.
just all over vegan food. But
Right.
I think I did you a solid on that.
All
one.
right.
Thank you.
Our guest has been
Can't wait.
Mckin Hall. Her new book called Simple Goodness, No Fuss, Plant-Based Meals Straight from Your Pantry.
Where can people find you?
Everywhere. Elliott Bay Book Company, the Book Larder. You can order it online. It was released December 3rd, so it is available now.
Uh-huh.
Congratulations.
And you are
Thank you.
officially a chef to the stars. You were a Stevie Wonder chef for a year, and the endorsements are ridiculous. Joaquin Phoenix and his whole family, India RE, Common, the Kitchen website, and Veg News have all given you ringing endorsements. I can't wait to try a couple recipes. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Mhm.
See
Thank
you
very
on
much.
evening.
I'll see you on evening.
All right.
Thanks, Mckin.
Thank you.
Up next, we're going to talk a little bit about some winter soups on
Mm.
Cairo Radio. It's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
Hi, Amy.
Can we take a picture?
Sure. How are you?
Right.
No, I don't. You ladies, you have one job. Make you look pretty. Thanks, dear. Good to see you. If you want to know more about the 19th, let me know.
Nice to meet you.
Do that with Charlie's partnering.
Good. I was talking with Charlie yesterday.
Oh, you did.
Well, in a couple months, there's something we want to talk about.
Yeah, let us know when you're ready.
Yeah, you got my number. Awesome. All right.
I think the key is that people can go out and get it
Yes.
if they hear about it. So until we were at that spot, I think we should hold off. All right.
How's your breakfast? Or how was your breakfast? I emailed Angel and Jacob and said, Loretta just did you a solid. Check it out.
They both, so like on the app, when you cook something, it like posts to your profile basically when you say like you've cooked it, and they both like liked my, so they're following along, which is cute. And the free component. Keep it free.
Good luck.
I know.
Wake up out there. Come on now. Come on, people. We got this. What? Negative?
No value add.
Welcome back. We're in the middle of the Hot Stove Society Show. I'm Tom Douglas.
I'm Loretta Douglas.
We got Becky, our producer, in our producer chair.
Mhm.
Nice to see you.
Nice
You've
to
been
see you.
traveling a bit too, haven't you? Or
No, I've been skiing a little
have
bit.
you been up at the Appleton?
Been at Alpental, yes. Got some turns, and snow is about half of what it usually is, but we'll get there.
It seems like it's snowing right now,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
I'm heading up today, and I'm taking all my bones from the freezer, and I've got a big pot up there, and I'm going to make stock. And I'm using 7 of Terry's pot au feu bones and a bunch of chicken and all kinds of things I've been saving for the last 6 months. And I just love making stock up there. Sean McFadden just gave me a pro tip. He said he adds the veggie rub in his stock and it just boosts up the flavor. I thought that was brilliant.
Interesting.
So I'm excited.
And are you going to make soup with your stock?
I'm definitely going to make soup with my stock.
What are you making?
Oh, good question. I love a lentil sausage soup with tons of veggies. I kind of a riff off of Ina Gardens. But it's hearty. It freezes really well. Super good. Super delish.
And do you freeze? You have a guest all the time up there, right?
Yeah, we've got. I always have soup in the fridge to pull right out for if someone stops by.
Now, and it's not all broccoli cheddar from Costco.
No, I would never purchase broccoli cheddar, but I would make it. But I did purchase. I've always got Duke's clam chowder. I love that. It's good. And then last night I got home kind of late and I was freezing. And remember Kurt Danmeyer's Beecher's cheese, the pork verde, it was frozen. And then I zhuzhed it up with, I put some sweet corn in it and then I had some creme fraiche. No, I used yogurt and it was so good. And it tasted homemade.
Those Beecher's frozen soups are really good.
Really
the lentil
good.
one is really good.
You have to say that your husband works there. So that's a radio thing.
I'm disclosing my relationship.
Yeah.
But I agree. They're delicious and easy to have frozen. But this segment, let's talk about homemade soup.
Well, I was just dreaming of your big bone stock. We call that all-purpose APJ, all-purpose jus. When we make a mixed bone stock, and we use that for, like, say, the charcoal grilled chicken at the Palace, or maybe you've got a prime rib coming out that doesn't necessarily give you a natural jus, and we'll use a mixed bone stock. So whatever bones, not fish bones, obviously, but chicken or beef bones or pork bones,
duck,
things
venison.
like that. So, but my favorite wintertime soup is beef barley. Just that old classic. I love barley. I love the chew that it has when you're eating it.
It's like farro. I love that.
Same thing.
That texture.
It's literally the same thing. It's just different names
softer.
for it. Yeah. And pearl barley, toasted farro from Italy, whatever you want to use in that way. But that's my favorite. And oftentimes when I'm cooking a brisket, I like to cook a 10, 12 pound brisket for the two of us. So you end up with 11 to 10 pounds of brisket left over. And that's the perfect place to chop it up and put it into a beef barley soup, especially when it's been on the grill and it's got a little smoky quality.
Sounds lovely.
But I agree with you. The lots of veggies, celery and carrots and parsnips and celery roots and all that sort of mix to go along with your barley. I don't put potatoes in generally. I just stick with the veggies. And then I always put greens in
at the end.
So ruby chard, not big whole leaves because then they come off stringy. But you have to chop it up and just stir it in at the end and then freeze.
I do that with spinach too.
Yeah, exactly.
Kale.
Yep.
I love like the lacinato kale in a soup. Yeah.
And it holds well too.
Yeah.
My favorite lacinato kale soup is
Ribollita. Mine too.
Yeah. So Ribollita is a bread soup, Tuscan bread soup made with chicken broth.
And what do you serve? What red wine are you drinking?
Well, so many. But in Tuscany, when you get it, you like I've had it in Siena, maybe at 5 different restaurants, and it couldn't be more different at each restaurant.
Okay.
Everybody has their version.
They do.
Yeah.
And it's usually the basic is bread, like bread croutons. The worst restaurants use old bread. The best restaurants like ours use freshly grilled country bread over a wood
grilled
fire.
Nice.
Oh, so delicious. But broth, beans, Tuscan kale, little bit of shredded chicken, not much. This is a bread soup. And maybe a little half a can of tomatoes, chopped tomatoes or something. But
so good.
It's just a little kind of stewy. But in a lot of restaurants in Siena, it's territorial.
Okay.
It'll come off as a pasty stew. And then mine is just as light a broth.
Fresh, yeah.
And my favorite one that I ever had was at a winery called Castella d'Ama. We had taken our car. This was at a time when we were still on maps and not GPS.
Right.
And we had taken our car. We ended up on a goat track somewhere in the middle of Tuscany. I couldn't even tell you where we were, but we're like in this car that shouldn't be on a path. And we're making our way to this winery. And I swear
it was like a clown car also. There was like 6 of us packed into a Fiat.
I swear that it was on the map but I could not find it again. So we were out in the middle of nowhere,
Uh-huh.
and somehow it took us to the winery. Can't even believe to this day that we made it. But the chef there was a German,
Uh-huh.
and she cooked in the fireplace, and she made the best roast chicken, just
Oh,
hanging on a string over the
yeah.
fire, and also made rebellita for one of our dinners one night, and it was the absolute bomb.
Yeah.
Is
So
that your recollection too? It was a bomb.
she was
Yeah.
too young.
I was pretty young.
Yeah.
But I love Ribolita. We used to do Ribolita at Serious Pie,
Uh-huh.
and it was always my favorite special when they would put Ribolita on.
Right.
But
so it's Tuscan bread soup.
Sounds wonderful. What are your favorites, Loretta?
so I kind of am different from you, Dad. I don't love a beef soup.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer, I would say, a chicken-based soup typically. I like the trashy ones. Like I love broccoli cheddar. I love a loaded big potato soup. I could eat soup every day. It's like my go-to lunch, I would say. But my two favorite are probably a kale, white bean, sausage, something in there just packed with veggies, or chicken tortilla soup is like I could eat
You
that.
love
I could
that
eat
soup.
chicken tortilla soup every day of my
Yeah.
life, I think. So those are my two.
Have you got your family on that yet? Is that a family thing or just a Loretta thing?
My family is not as into soup. Neither Ben nor my older child will really go for soup.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why.
But when you
But-
talked about making the cabbage roll soup,
Yes.
your family will like that.
Yeah, that's more of a bowl than a soup,
Okay.
I would say. Like it's really not brothy. It's more of
Okay.
a I think I kind of misspoke. It's more of a cabbage roll, deconstructed cabbage roll bowl.
Okay.
They would eat that. At least Ben would eat that. I don't know about the kids, but yeah, chicken tortilla soup. But the thing for me with chicken tortilla soup is like if you don't have sour cream on top and you don't have crunchy tortilla chips going in at the last minute, it's not worth having.
Okay.
So the places
Some criteria.
yeah, but
Yeah.
the places that like I don't like when they put the tortilla chips in when you're making the soup and it just kind of
Soggy.
becomes part of the
Mhm.
broth. Like I want that freshly sogged out crispy chip,
Mhm.
and then it needs the fresh sour cream and it needs those fresh diced avocado and cilantro and stuff on top, I think. So I do think that that's one that can it's fine when it's not like
Mhm.
that, but it's so much better when it's
Yeah.
bright like that. I love a pozole too.
Mm.
I love
That was
pozole.
Renee Erickson's favorite too.
I make
Yeah.
I make better pozole than most people I know.
And he's humble, too.
Not naming names. Okay, here's a funny one. Italian wedding ball soup.
Oh, I
A
love
little
that.
meatball soup.
Yep.
So when I was in high school, as I've said before, I took home ec class to meet
Mhm.
girls, and I was one guy and 27 girls, or
Smart.
28 of us in the class.
Mhm.
And I met my high school girlfriend, and there, Maria Pollard, whose brother was a priest and whose mother was a freak. She's long gone. And
Hopefully she doesn't listen to our show.
Maria might, but she's the one who got me on Italian wedding meatball soup,
Mhm.
and I have a version of it downstairs
Oh my
at
God, it's so
Lola,
good.
the
Oh.
little lamb meatball soup.
Okay.
I call it Greek wedding ball soup,
Right.
and it is delicious. And I would say 50% of the time at Lola when I have lunch there, it's either that or it's the kebabs with the Greek salad and the fried
The
potato.
grilled bread
Mm.
on the side, the feta, they're really good feta on top, just gives it that.
Sheep's milk
like,
feta,
yeah,
yeah.
Yum.
so good.
Yeah. So
Well, we could talk soup all day because
Mm.
it's a perfect time of year for it too.
I love it.
it is a delicious time of year for it. And, I'll just say this. For those of you who don't have time to cook, buy bones, put them on the stove and cook. It'll change your opinion if you have time to cook or not.
Yeah, and it makes
If you
the
have
house smell
time to
great.
watch America's Got Talent and
You have time to make stock.
The Voice, you just have the stock going on the back
There
of the
you go.
stove. Get your act together. It's worth it. Don't you think?
I never make stock. I'm not
Okay.
a person. to
I'm not
ask
even
about.
talking to you
I'll bring
anymore.
you some.
All right. When we come back, we got another full hour. Sam Spellman's going to be here. We're going to roast some chicken. We've got food for thought, tasty trivia. And we've got Millie's sipping broth. Speaking of soup,
That'll be fun.
we're going to have a good time for one more hour on Cairo Radio. It's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM. You guys all in? Feeling good? You full? You know, the Dahlia Bakery's open if you're still hungry. I've got some hitch in my get along. Hello, Sam. Super awesome. Same back at you. You have a new tattoo since I saw you last?
Yeah,
Is there a nuclear explosion happening on your neck?
yes, there is. How'd you guess? Yes, I hope.
It's either that or it's a cotton ball.
What's that?
It's either that or it's a cotton ball.
They're flowers.
Oh, they're flowers.
Yeah. You were close though. Cotton ball flowers.
Cotton ball flowers.
Yeah.
Really? No.
No.
No. Okay. I'm usually not that gullible. It just hit me at the.
It's
Oh,
still
you are
early.
so gullible. What are you talking about?
Sometimes it's true.
Can we pour out a little bit of Sam's juice here for everyone to try? I don't know if we have those little compostable Dixies.
How much is an appropriate shot?
It's not really.
Like less than half an ounce.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not
just a little
really-
taster. It's very, very
It's
strong.
more of a
I
mixer.
remember when you brought it this summer.
Yeah.
It was
yeah,
delicious. Yeah.
It's only gotten better too.
Really. And you're.
It's like my little baby.
Aw.
How's it selling?
Really well.
Good.
Yeah, wholesale especially. Just with like bars not
Mhm.
having to have an espresso machine to make espresso based cocktails.
Great point.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's going really well. Yeah. It's a staple in my home.
And
That's not a surprise. You sell it for a living.
Yes, it's kind of my job, right?
I'm going to wait for people to get a little taste here.
oh, I know.
Because if I start now, you won't have it by the time we're finished.
Oh, thank you so much.
So people can just lie and, right?
What do you mean?
It says,
Well, it's like he had the book and took a picture of it, but it
Yeah.
doesn't share the pictures of physical books with the public, only like online recipes.
good. Loretta doesn't
Yep.
doesn't do coffee.
You're
Here,
allergic.
you can sip this so you know.
And chocolate.
Woo. Yeah.
Are so sweet that you have to like adjust the recipe.
Yeah, that's a nice thing. Make it whatever you want it to be.
The
I bet it's
espresso
really good in,
martini
like-
craze has not died off yet.
No, it hasn't. I
No.
was in New York a couple months ago, and almost every bar that I passed by had one on the menu.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Really good in like.
All right, we're back here in the kitchen
Yeah.
on Cairo
Yeah.
Radio. One more full hour of entertainment for you. Thank you for listening. You know, you can podcast us. You can you can get us any way you
YouTube.
want.
Anyway.
I tend to get us on the radio. I listen to us because we tape on Thursday mornings here
Mhm.
at the Hot Stove. I tend to listen to us on the weekend on terrestrial radio.
Mhm.
Do you listen?
Not often, but once in a
Okay.
while, yeah.
I'm always scared to hear my own voice or whatever like
Oh,
dumb
Lordy.
thing, dumb
Well, how
thing
you-
I said on accident.
Sam Spellman is in the guest chair right now. She's the director of coffee for Cafe Vita and a 2019 U.S. Barista Champion. Cafe Vita is a Seattle-based coffee roaster and cafe chain with locations in Seattle, New York, and Arizona. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun.
Welcome
you're
back.
Where are you in New York?
Thank you. I was in New York.
No, I said,
and-
where are you in New
Oh,
York?
where in New York? We're in Brooklyn.
Oh,
We have a
okay.
roastery in Brooklyn on Johnson Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fun.
Bushwick.
Bushwick.
Yeah, in Bushwick.
Classic territory. Okay, Sam, you've been a frequent visitor on our show over the years. Tell us about your background real quick, and we'll get going down the road of cold brew, whatever that is that you just brought us.
Yeah,
Vita
for sure.
cold shot.
Yeah, Vita cold shots. So I've been in coffee since I could remember. I started as a barista when I was 17, moved to Seattle for school, and just obsessed over coffee.
Uh-huh.
Went down the training route in cafes, and then found myself at Cafe Vita after winning the U.S. Barista Championship in 2020. And it's been an adventure ever since. We've just been growing to take this 30-year-old brand as of this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And just increasing quality all the way through, growing throughout the US with wholesale and retail. And it's been, like I said, an adventure.
Uh-huh. As you know, I'm a Charbucks person. I love that darker roast. I went to do a tasting at
She's giving you such a face
Oh,
right now.
I know. She always does. I know.
Yeah.
It's okay. We can have our differences.
We can still be friends, I guess.
Yeah, we can still be friends.
Yeah.
But I went to do a tasting at a local company because one of my teammates begged me to do it.
Mhm.
And they love their coffee. And I look at the coffee, made the mistake of looking at it first, and it's the color of Becky's hair. And they
Lots of
literally
caffeine.
said, this is what all the cool kids are drinking.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
I'm
you're not
obviously
a
not a cool
kid.
kid. But tell me about that discrepancy of what I don't know, are my tastes just developed over the years with that particular flavor profile, or is this really what the cool kids are drinking and why? Because I don't get it. It's like they're like lemon acid bombs.
Yeah. It's definitely, I think as an industry, we're just realizing that there's so many beautiful qualities in the innate characteristics of the coffee
Of
and
the
how
bean
it's grown.
itself.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So you can, with that, by roasting a little lighter or like a lighter medium profile, you can highlight those characteristics and bring them to the surface.
Uh-huh.
And it's not always, a lot of the time it is an acid bomb, which is what gets me excited because I was a sour candy kid my entire life.
Uh-huh.
But you can also have really pretty chocolatey, caramely coffees that are still that lighter profile.
Uh-huh.
But I think what
And
we're
what happens when somebody puts a double shot of caramel and chocolate mocha and all that kind of stuff in it?
Well, and that's a great question. I think it goes down to like, think about making cocktails. It's all about balance. So in those scenarios, you want something that's going to have a little more, that's going to cut through everything. It's kind of like if you have a Jack Daniels and Coke, it tastes fantastic. Jack Daniels by itself, and you wouldn't want to put a high, like top shelf whiskey in with Coca-Cola because it would just be gross. Honestly, it's the same idea. So there's still a place for like those medium dark profiles. And I think that's what I'm like really proud about with Vita is we offer a little bit of everything. Our flagship espresso tastes really good with that caramel and also by itself too.
Right.
Yeah.
And is it true savory coffees are coming in more than the sweet ones?
I think it's a mixed bag, honestly. It really depends on the person. Everybody has their own preference in coffee, but there's definitely I mean, it's a mixed bag. I like a little bit of everything.
Well, I think Becky's question relates a little bit to where teas are headed to, some of these mixed herb teas where you're getting spruce tips and you're getting sage teas and now people are starting to translate that into a coffee product.
Yeah.
And is that reasonable?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. So what are the new drinks that you're coming out with this new year?
Yeah, great question. So January 15th, we're launching our winter seasonal menu, and it's a black sesame latte,
Ooh.
which black sesame has a lot of savoriness to itself, so it kind of highlights that. And sweetened with honey. It is amazing. It's so good. We also are offering that as a cloud or a cold foam, and it tastes like cookies and cream on top of a cold brew. It is delicious. And then to gear up for Valentine's Day, we have our rose cardamom latte, which is a crowd favorite, and we blast it with some beet powder on top, so it has this really pretty red glow.
Mm-hmm.
So cute. I love that.
So good.
Boy, for a coffee purist, you're getting way out there.
I'm a sucker for the sweet drinks. Yeah,
Okay.
I like black coffee in the mornings, but hit me at 3 p.m. and I want that sweet beverage.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let it
tell
hit
us
the
about
craving.
what you brought today.
Yeah. So I brought you a product that we started serving at Vita, like, I don't know, 6 months ago. But
Yeah, we had you on the show. I think that's last time.
Fourth-
yeah,
the 4th of
summertime.
July show.
4th of July show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this has become a staple in my house. But this is basically coffee that has been brewed with pressure to meet the same concentration as espresso. So it's an espresso replacement without the espresso machine, which is a pretty cool concept because now everybody has access to espresso based drinks.
It looks pretty dark.
It is. Yeah. It's a lot of that is the concentration.
Okay.
But it is our like medium roast profile. So
Uh-huh.
it's very chocolatey. You got
Mhm.
some like dried cherry flavors. Again, it's very concentrated. So sometimes it's hard to pick out those flavors. But you can have it as an Americano, some espresso martinis in the afternoon if you
Uh-huh.
want. I throw it in with some Coca-Cola and lime and a cherry, and that's really good. Have you had Coca-Cola and espresso before?
I have not.
Oh man, you're missing out. You got to
Yeah.
jump in.
I'm just not a Coca-Cola person, I
Oh,
guess.
really?
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper?
I'm a black coffee drinker. I'll
Black
drink it
coffee?
all day
Okay,
long.
Purist.
Well, you would say no because I drink Starbucks. And by Starbucks, I mean I don't just drink Starbucks. I mean I drink darker roasted coffee,
Mhm. Yeah.
whether it's an espresso, what they call espresso roast, or the Umbria darkest roast.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I drink just dark coffee.
I love that.
Let's go back to the espresso martini craze because I thought it was just a craze, which translates in my mind to a quick little fad. It's hung around
I mean, yeah, we're on year 2
or 3.
or 3
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
like
I was
deep
so,
in on espresso martinis.
to be honest, I was so stubborn to even try one. I thought it was just going to be like a little seasonal thing that everybody was like about and then not about. And it took me about, I think my first one was last year. They're pretty amazing. I see why they've stuck around.
Really?
Yeah. It's like the Red Bull vodka that like studied abroad, like it's elevated. You get that caffeine kick.
Uh-huh.
I love that.
You know, when I was a young cook in Seattle in 1977, 78, coffee nudges were the rage and Irish coffees were the rage. Now you rarely see them outside of St. Patrick's Day for the Irish coffee, and they're just not on anyone's radar, it seems like.
Yeah, it's actually really cool because in the competition world, which is where my passion is, there's a competition called Coffee and Good Spirits, and the Irish coffee is you have to serve an Irish coffee in addition to your other beverages.
It's a classic.
Oh,
It's a
like the
classic.
It's the
standard.
standard.
It's the standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of competition, I hear that you wanted to keep a couple minutes for something.
Yeah. So here's the deal, Tom. The past times I've been on the show, we've had trivia, and you've kicked my butt in trivia. So I wanted to turn it around to you.
Okay.
This year is our 30th anniversary, and we have a lot of exciting things that we're going to be launching. But I want to jump into the past a little bit. Can I
Okay.
ask you some questions?
Why would you think I would know anything about the past? I am a young stud. She just laughed.
She did.
This is really for my ego more than
Oh,
anything.
okay.
Yeah. Question number 1.
Okay.
Cafe Vita opened our first cafe in Lower Queen Anne in 1995.
100% true.
But that wasn't where we first roasted. Next to what Seattle icon was our first roasting operation located? And it's multiple choice. So A, the Smith Tower, B, just down the street from the Fremont Troll, or C, the monorail.
Well, the monorail covers the most territory, so I'm going to go with that.
Great
It's like
answer.
that's almost
You're
a mile
already
of-
better than I am at this.
almost a mile of territory that the last roasting spot I've been in of yours was up on Cap Hill.
Yes.
Are you still in that space?
That's where we're at. We're right behind the cafe. You go into the cafe
Yeah.
and you can see the roasters through the big window. That's where I'm at all the time. Come see me.
Okay.
And then we'll do one more question. Cafe Vita's original logo features a pulcinella, a clown-like character from the 16th century Italian theater. Which of the following characteristics is not typical for a pulcinella on stage? A, he has a hunchback. B, he is rebellious. C, he is generous and fairly altruistic. And D, He has a big old pot belly.
Well, I would say he probably has a cup of coffee in his hand. It's my guess. I don't know.
You got that right.
And I would say all of the above.
All the above.
Because I think they look a little bit like me. I have the belly. I've got a bit of a hunch, and I love a cup of coffee.
Well, I would like to say you're correct because that's a great answer, but C is the right answer. He is not generous or fairly altruistic. Far
Really?
from it. Yeah.
So,
So I think that's
So the moral of the story is don't ever buy Cafe Vita.
no. It's like if you
Who
want
would
to
have
be,
a jerk like that in their logo?
if you want to be cool and like punky, come to Cafe Vita. No,
Super
Cafe
fun.
Vita is for everyone.
Absolutely. You know, my next segment, I'm going to put coffee beans inside of a chicken.
Now you have my attention.
Yeah, see, there you
I'm
go.
even vegan, and I want to know more.
You're a vegan?
Yeah.
Wow, McKinney was just here.
I know. She was speaking my language.
Yeah, exactly. You're listening to us on Cairo Radio. Go get some Cafe Vita with Sam up there on the hill. You can say hi in the roasting room, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right. We are 97.3 FM, Cairo Radio.
Woohoo! That came from the caffeine. I got a little
You get a little buzz off of
got a
that?
little excited.
So you guys, you would use that if you want for espresso martini with simple syrup, right? You just mix the coffee and the simple syrup, and you've got the ingredients for the beginning of an espresso martini.
Like a lot of chocolate cake recipes call for espresso,
Yeah.
things like that. You can use that for.
She was good.
She's always.
Yeah.
Oh, she was. She's always good.
Yeah, both.
We are back here in the kitchen at the hot stove. Cameron Thomas is on the technical side of things. If this broadcast does not sound correct, you're welcome to send
Send
a
him
note.
some hate
love
mail.
Send him a note. You know, I was talking. I can't remember what event I did last week where I was talking about.
You did a lot of them.
My death threat that I received.
Yes, you said it on
Was
the
it
radio
on the
show.
radio?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
The one
It
with the
was
cut up magazine.
Literally,
Yeah.
letters cut out of a magazine and newspaper, and
I remember
formed
those days.
together. Yeah,
That's cute.
exactly. I don't know what brought that up, but sending Cam a letter, an anonymous letter, would be
Zodiac
great.
killer style.
Yeah,
Great.
exactly. Let's talk roast chicken.
Please.
We had a little soup conversation. We've had some tofu conversations with Mckin Hall. Well, Sam just talked coffee, and I'm going to start my chicken with a roast chicken. Now, this is Loretta's mother's favorite dinner to make. Is
I
roast
didn't know
chicken.
that.
Yeah, and it's not my favorite dinner,
Mhm.
but she makes it
You
anyway.
have, I will say, come around a bit on chicken.
On chicken, but a
In
roast
general.
chicken in general is just not my
It's
favorite.
not your jam. Because when I was growing up, your motto was life's too short to eat chicken.
chicken.
No, it
Breast.
was just chicken.
Oh, it's just chicken.
No.
Yeah.
Well, this
now
came
I
up
think
with-
you've amended it.
We were
but-
talking at the New Year's Eve dinner table, and someone was saying everybody here knows how to roast a chicken, right?
Yeah,
And
it
half the
should be-
people were they
No,
were
yeah.
intimidated.
should be your job as a parent to teach your kids.
One
before
time I
they
taught my
leave
friends
the
a
house.
cooking class on
Oh,
how to
how
roast
fun.
a chicken.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then
I
they
got
told
like
two
four-
friends, and
four
then they told
friends
two friends. Yeah.
Together.
Perfect. Pass on the love.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so I'm going to use a technique that I use at Thanksgiving, which is putting coffee beans inside the cavity
Mhm.
of the turkey, which then steep in the turkey juice as it cooks, and then you strain the the turkey juice out of the cavity into your pot that is
Mm.
going to make your gravy, and you end up with this kind of toasty aroma that you don't know where it's coming from.
Mhm.
And I've only used it on turkey, really.
Mhm.
And then I thought the other day when I was making a roast chicken, why not just go ahead and do this? Because again, all I'm trying to get
Same thing.
is another layer of flavor. And people go ooh all the time when they think about it. And I'm trying to get that. You know, you'd put smoked salt on a chicken. All I'm doing
Right.
is putting roasted beans that have this great aroma into the chicken, and it makes a delicious sauce. And
And
it's,
if I recall correctly, for turkey, you said about a quarter cup of whole beans. Is
Yeah,
that right?
yeah,
So, you- half of that. Or-
yeah, essentially, it depends on what you're doing with the whole chicken. Like to me, I would be putting bacon fat and butter in the bottom of that pan when I'm roasting the chicken so that I have some grease to make gravy with.
Okay.
Right? I don't know if you know what my nickname is.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
The gravy god.
The gravy god. I made such a good mushroom gravy for my pork roast on New Year's Eve. I'm just saying, right here at the hot stove. Just saying. Anyway, so just a little trick to take a simple roast chicken and just try and add some flavor to it. Oh my Lord.
Goodness, you are such a hater.
Yeah.
And then are you
And one of the great tragedies of my life, I will tell you,
Oh God, I know where this is going.
is that I taught our daughter watched us how to cook every day. She's learned how to cook. She's a terrific cook. And her favorite food,
chicken breast?
Boneless. No, not even that. Boneless, skinless chicken breast.
First of all, it's not my favorite food.
Oh, you have said for years it was your favorite food, and I've always
it is a go-to
I've gone
protein
to
of
mass,
mine.
I've gone to the Pope, I've done everything I could do to kind of circumvent this.
Drama king over here.
Okay, go ahead.
I made boneless, skinless chicken breast fajitas last night.
Yeah, of course you did. And I did it for your kids for Christmas dinner. I made them chicken fingers.
So my roast chicken, I like mustard on my roast chicken. So I like to do.
Oh my goodness, this is a great start.
The butter and mixed with some mustard, herbs, things like that. I do it under the skin and then a bit on top.
Are you spatchcocked at this point, or what
no,
are you
because
doing?
I don't know how to do that, frankly.
Okay.
So I just do the whole thing. And yeah, I just roast it whole. The mustard, I think, just keeps it moist and also gives it flavor. I like a lot of black pepper, thyme, fresh herbs.
And what's your process? Do you dry it out the night before, or does it matter?
I don't, because generally I'm not
Fridge
planning
space,
that
too.
far in advance. And I will tell you, I don't roast a lot of whole chickens because I tend to have a white meat family, so it's honestly easier. But I can do the same thing if I buy bone-in skin on chicken breasts. You can, treat them the same way.
Right.
But I just pat it dry.
Just make sure it's dry.
With a paper towel usually.
If you don't, the mustard won't stick to it.
Yeah, exactly. It'll just like slip right off. And then I'll just take, softened salted butter and stir it up with herbs and black pepper and make a paste essentially out of it. I usually use just a Dijon. I love that French tarragon Dijon is perfect for this. So good. And yeah, just slather it on there, push some under the skin. Sometimes I'll put some herbs in the cavity. Sometimes not. I don't typically make like a gravy afterwards. It's just another step that I honestly don't usually take. I love it when you do. But
I think roasting a chicken at home is so easy. It's people can be intimidated, and it's so much better. I find it if I do a shortcut and go to PCC or Met Market, they've been sitting so long, they're overcooked.
Some of the rotisserie.
Rotisserie
rotisserie
chicken, which is essentially the same taste as the roast. And so that's why it's a great shortcut, but it's overcooked for me.
Yeah, I rarely buy rotisserie chickens. Typically only if I want stock and I want it to be a little bit more than like a box stock. I will pick the chicken off, put the carcass in with some onions and herbs and carrots and pour a box stock over top and just kind of make a quick double stock. But I think I made chicken and dumplings the other day, and I used like the rotisserie chicken for the meat in that. But
all right, Becky, you have 2 grown children at this point. What is a parent's responsibility when it comes to roasting a chicken?
Well,
and did you follow suit on that?
Well, I have one son. He's married, so I do have 2 grown children now. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if he knows how to roast a chicken. I'm sure he does.
Didn't specifically
no,
train
not
him.
specifically
Did you
that.
train him how to do his checkbook?
Yes.
He probably doesn't have a checkbook.
No.
But
Yeah, he did. He did have a checkbook. I bet he doesn't anymore.
Yeah.
But no, he's a pretty good cook.
Where do you stop in where the parent is responsible for training their children before they leave the house?
I think the earlier the better. I mean,
I think that
he used to do
roast
dinner parties.
chicken is part of the training.
Absolutely, and I missed out.
What does our audience think? Did you guys train your kids how to make a roast chicken? A couple of people did.
Yeah.
The rest of you are in detention for a bit.
And And then the leftovers of roast chicken is so nice. And personally, when I think of roasting a chicken, my brain immediately goes to, I can't wait to put those bones in the fridge for when I get to make stock.
Chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, or whatever. I just
Yeah.
just stock in general is my favorite. So
My biggest problem with a whole roast chicken is I'm so bad at cutting it afterwards
Uh-huh.
that sometimes I feel like I just do the bone-in skin-on breast because I don't want to mangle this poor chicken.
Any
that
tips,
I've
Tom?
roasted.
Well, I have some tips. So number one, I'm going to chide myself. The fact that my daughter doesn't know how to spatchcock a chicken bums my trip. So we're going to have a little lesson. You're 34 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
it's a fun one.
Your mother spatchcocks her turkey this year.
I know.
Yeah.
know. But she
It's a
cooks
good
lot
way to
more
cut your
chicken
hand
than I
off.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Just set and
I
let you
can't.
know.
I don't have time for that.
In case you don't want to have to worry about the babies right now, you can get a little injured reserve time.
Great.
Yeah. But taking the backbone out of a chicken is pretty darn simple.
Okay.
It does entail, a good sized chef knife and some power behind it, so that if you slip, then you're in trouble.
And it is nice to have chicken shears, like real sturdy
I've
chicken
never
shears.
gotten into those.
Oh,
Jackie uses them,
that's
but
why-
I've never
that's how
gotten
I like
into
to do
the
it,
chicken
yeah.
shears. Yeah. And then I put a little spice rub or even your mustard. I don't put butter in it. I'll put butter in the pan and then put the mustard glazed chicken into the pan with some rosemary and shallots and things and let them brown on top. But and then carving, you don't feel comfortable carving a bird. This boy, I have failed miserably. And so
You didn't teach me to balance my checkbook either. So
well, I don't think you were at a time where you had a checkbook. Did you have a checkbook ever in your whole life?
Oh
I
yeah.
have a checkbook now. I think I've written one check in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
But
I always
was gonna
carry
say.
one around with me.
I
But
use my checkbook.
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, that's an opportunity
Okay.
that you and I have for some father-daughter time. to
Great.
Oh, sweet.
Fill in some of those blanks
Mhm.
because
it.
I can't have this.
I know.
I can't have you out in public not being able to carve a chicken.
Yeah. I mean, I can muddle my way through it, but it's never like clean and nice.
Yeah,
So I'm a little embarrassed when I'm serving, people. And
as
it's
you
like,
should be.
Here's your mangled.
I'm not sure if this is
Bird.
dark meat or white. I think it's a combo. It's a combo plate.
Just take what you get.
Lance Kesner and Lori Piha Kesner are here to talk about their soup company called Millie's Sipping Broth.
I'm excited.
Can you call Sipping Broth a soup?
We're gonna
We're
find
gonna
out.
find out on
Yeah.
Cairo Radio. It's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM. Lori. Well, maybe Lori's not. Lori, are you from the Piha family? The Maury Piha family?
No, that's PIHA.
Different spelling. Same extended family? Is that what you said?
Came from the same island.
Same island.
Same origination.
Can we get one of those opened up so we can try it?
I'm gonna get.
Oh, they're bringing some out? Okay, good. That we can put right out here. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, cool. Hi,
Hi,
I'm
my
Loretta. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Okay,
like
do you want me to
within an
scoot in?
inch.
Get up right on top of it.
Right on top of it. Yep.
Wow. Can you lower it a little? Or is that
Perfect.
okay?
And in that box, there's samples for everybody to take home, along with the tasting samples. Yeah.
Sean, are you making a sipping broth sample right now? Okay, good.
Did you tell him?
I'm going to wait just a minute till you. How close are you? All right, I'm going to wait a couple of minutes. No, I can see him on the. Okay.
Did you know Maury?
Huh?
Did you know Maury?
I met him, and I know Jamie.
Oh, Jamie. She's my cousin.
I
She's my cousin. Oh, yeah.
went
Jamie.
to
She's a feisty
high school,
one.
and I'm friends with some of the Peahaw family.
Oh, really?
The other Peahaw family. Yeah, Blair
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
is a friend of
Little-
mine from high school.
Little tiny Blair.
Yeah, tiny Blair.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Where'd you go to high school?
Sass.
Oh,
Academy.
okay. Wow. All right.
Which one is this?
It's the Thai lemongrass. Yeah. It's probably the easiest one to drink this early in the morning.
Well, you know, I had to stop drinking. I've been reduced to 2 drinks a day, which is tragic.
What kind of drinks?
Oh, I was going to say whiskey and
Yeah,
something.
so I've been on herb tea
Oh.
because drinking for me is more of the process. It's like cigarette smokers always just saying they like that
Right.
Yeah.
movement. So I'm down to 2 drinks a day, which doesn't last very long.
No, it doesn't.
So I've been drinking
You're
herb
looking
tea.
for alternatives.
Yes.
Well, now you can have
Now you can
broth.
drink broth.
I hadn't really thought about a broth.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and a lot of
And
people do that.
This
Instead of-
holiday season, I read like a lot of people making bone broth hot chocolate,
Oh, that doesn't sound
and
good.
it, thought it was
Yeah.
delicious.
That's interesting.
Well, this is a lot less expensive than Brodo. That's 50 cents.
50 cents.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I would imagine this will be stocked at the ski lodge cabin.
Yeah.
I looked it up last night on Amazon. I was about ready to hit buy, and then I thought, well, we're probably going to taste it tomorrow. I'll know which ones I
And
want to buy.
here's, yeah.
Because I probably wouldn't buy the spicy tortilla, but maybe I would.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah, it's good.
And you can use these to make cocktails with.
Now you guys are getting crazy.
No. Yeah.
All right, we're going to go ahead and go now because you guys have some broth. These are all tomato, Thai basil,
Thai lemongrass.
Thai lemongrass.
Thai
lemongrass.
Thai lemongrass.
Thai basil. We haven't tried that one.
I
yet.
had pho yesterday, so I'm still thinking about Thai basil.
There you go. Okay.
Where'd you go?
I went to the place
So you
on
have to get
4th
really
Avenue
close
right
to
here.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I
You
like
can
that
move this
place.
back a bit.
Yeah, I go stop at sit at the bar.
Vin.
Asian something.
Oh.
Asian. Mekong.
Right on top of
Oh.
it.
I like the one all the way down at the end of 5th, like right when you turn off of Denny.
Yeah.
That place is good.
It's always busy, that one.
Yeah.
All good? All right, we're back here in the kitchen on Cairo Radio. Busy show today. Thank you for joining us. We've got an interesting topic coming up here next because it's something I've never tried before. Loretta, have you had
Not
these
like this before.
tea
No,
bag
it's
broths?
awesome.
No, I haven't either. So Lance Kesner and Lori Peahaw Kesner are here, husband and wife co-creators of Millie's Sipping Broth. Welcome to the show.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Tell us about your product. I'm just drinking the Thai lemongrass right now. It's
Yes.
delicious.
That's actually my favorite.
Is it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, basically it's broth in a tea bag.
Uh-huh.
We kind of reimagined broth as a hot beverage
Uh-huh.
that, by the way, we've been drinking for thousands of years. And it came out of a need that Lori had as a teacher.
Yeah, so I actually am vegetarian, so I used to take a vegetarian bouillon cube to work every day so that I could have a little snack in the afternoon. Because if you go into the teacher's room, there's a whole bunch of cookies and things that people brought from their weekend to get rid of.
Right.
And so I was telling Lance, I said, I take a bouillon cube to work every day, but I don't know. And he said, there's so much sodium in there and artificial ingredients. Let me see if I can mix some different ingredients together and make something healthier for you. And I said, okay, see if you can put it in a tea bag, then I can make it really fast because I don't have much time for prep. So we were literally in our kitchen opening Lipton tea bags, mixing little spices together and seasonings,
Uh-huh.
filling them up, stapling them and brewing them in water to get different flavors. And our first flavor that we came up with was tomato basil. And Go ahead. You
Oh,
take it
yeah.
over from there.
So she put them in.
But you have no background in food production or anything.
Well, at that time, we had started a food business in 2009 and created a garlic condiment, and so we had a little experience, but still was based on a need, and we didn't know what we were doing with soup or broth. Or
We didn't
anything
even
like
make it for any intention to go
Yeah.
further than that.
Yeah,
So,
but
Just
but,
for you to take to work.
yeah, yeah.
And the teachers went crazy over it, and we thought, oh, this might be a big deal. And in 2017, we won Outstanding Hot Beverage of the Year at the Fancy Food Show. We won a Gold Sophie Award
Yeah.
for the product that we just created in the kitchen. And so
So exciting. I've tried to win those awards. I've got a couple of silvers, but I don't have a gold.
we've
the
been
Sophie.
lucky enough to get 2.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, we took it to the Pike Place Market to sell it right on the right on, across the street from Starbucks, and people started buying it. And so we just took it to the market.
Uh-huh. Fun.
Yeah.
I'm drinking the Thai lemongrass right now. It's got a nice viscosity to it, which is, I was concerned about that when it comes to broth,
Yeah.
that it has to have some body to it.
Oh, yes.
And I like that. What's giving it the body? If it's not,
It's just real vegetables and herbs and seasonings.
So
So
just
it's
dry.
dehydrated. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, a lot of the instant broths that are out there are spray coated dextrose.
Yeah, they taste like water too. Yeah.
Well, exactly. And
Yeah.
that's why they dissolve.
Right.
You don't get there's no body because it's not real.
It's meant to dissolve.
Exactly.
And this is
Right.
meant to
In this case, we're-
rehydrate.
Exactly. I mean, we're doing like a mini bouquet garni, right?
Uh-huh.
Where we're capturing all of the stuff that's being rehydrated. So you've got that. It's not a consommé, right? So it's not completely clear, but so you're getting some of the particles from the vegetables.
well, it's delicious, I would
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
And are they all vegetarian?
They're all vegan.
Vegan.
Yeah. And you can
Amazing.
actually open the packets and use them for seasoning. We make a great popcorn with the
we
tortilla.
say that about our rub line all the time. We use it over top of popcorn
Yeah.
or butter popcorn,
Yeah.
on the
why
top of
not?
sugar cookies. Our Chinese 12 spice makes a great snickerdoodle.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely. So
And now you're in a whole lot of stores, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We so during COVID we got discovered by Weight Watchers because it's 0 points. So it's like this perfect snack
Yeah.
for people who are kind of watching their wellness routines, and that propelled us to being the best-selling broth on Amazon. And then we got an opportunity to present our product to Walmart. Walmart has an open call every year where they look for American-made products, and we presented to Walmart, and they said, "Okay, we want you in half of our stores." That was a year ago.
So that's 1,500 stores, right?
1,800.
1,800
Yeah.
stores.
Yeah.
And so,
How do you scale up for that?
yeah, it was really, we made more product in a week than we'd been making in a year.
That is so
to
crazy
scale up for
to
that.
Scale up.
Yeah. They actually wanted us in over 3,000 stores. We had to scale it back.
Yeah.
And so in late October, we launched, and next week we're launching in half of the Sam's Clubs too.
Wow.
So we were very fortunate. We got what's called a golden ticket, where they basically give you a deal on the spot. And 7,000 products were presented, and they only chose like 70 companies to give golden tickets to. So we're very, very fortunate.
Super
Yeah.
nice.
so cool.
So the big key on that is making sure that they have depletions, right? So that they reorder.
you're
That's-
absolutely right.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
yeah, that's 100% the deal, because you don't want to get in and then just get thrown out because you don't sell enough units.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, getting the word out. I mean, we created a new category, right, of broth in a tea bag. It's National Soup Month in January. I don't know if you knew that,
I
but
did not know that.
yeah, so we're hoping that everyone finds out about Millie's during National Soup Month.
And where in the store are you? Are you with broths or are you with teas?
We're with the broth,
Yeah.
Okay.
literally eye level, just next to Campbell's Soup.
Okay.
So,
So
you
in
know,
the soup section,
it's all red and white, and then you get to ours section.
We actually started off with the name. By the way, Millie was my mom, and so she's passed. But we just thought she loved to gather people with food, and just family gatherings. So that's kind of a tribute to her. It is a tribute to her. But we started off with the name Savory Teas, and that people would taste it, and they'd like be shocked.
Yeah.
They couldn't handle it because the name threw them off.
yeah.
So we had to change the name to make it more palatable, I guess.
Yeah,
You know.
sipping broth is exactly what
Then
it is.
you know what
Perfect
you're
for
doing.
it. Yeah, you know what to
drinking.
expect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
I was just trying to think, how do I substitute this for my herb teas that I've been drinking? And I'm so sick of the herb teas that I've been drinking because I've been doing this down to 2 drinks a day thing for
Yeah, right. So you want
almost 3
something.
months now. I'm a saint, I got to tell you.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
Yes,
you.
No, it is
Compared-
hard to scale.
I love when
things that
getting
you
down
love.
to 2 drinks a day.
I
It's
know.
like-
Our pal Amy over there says, I think I might drink this weekend. I said, you might drink this weekend? But I could see, I didn't think I would be able to kind of intertwine this with a regular cup of, say, herb tea, but it's certainly more fun.
Well, it's satiating
It's
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
feel
that 3-4 o'clock like snack attack, I feel like this would be perfect for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
Yes. It's
as
going
I've
to
had
hold
to
you
have tea
over.
for my 5 o'clock martini now. It's like it's so depressing. But I could do this.
You could even put it in a martini glass. That will hold. That will hold hot. Hot.
Trick yourself.
There you go.
That's very funny.
What's your favorite one? You have 4 flavors?
Yeah.
So you have tomato basil. We're drinking the Thai lemongrass. What are the other 2?
Spicy tortilla and delight pho.
Yeah.
We always thought it'd be
Delight
fun.
pho.
Yeah, we always thought it'd be fun to name a pho restaurant.
There's a lot
So,
of
Right.
so
pho
we create
versions.
exactly. So yeah, I mean, they're all our babies.
Okay.
Yeah. I like the Thai.
I like the pho. The pho is probably the most complex flavor.
Okay.
There's a lot going on there. It's the pho is the most popular flavor out of all of them on both coasts.
Interesting.
And then spicy tortilla is very popular in Texas. We never thought that we would be saying this, right? Coming out of our kitchen, millions of people have been drinking our broth all over the country and telling us what their favorite flavors are. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
How do you accomplish the pho? Because we all know pho is a beef broth, and there's some ingredients there, but we also know that cinnamon, star anise, maybe depending on what the flavor profile is for each restaurant. But how do you accomplish your?
I always think of pho, since it's vegan. I always think of pho as having a little bit of a funk from fish sauce. So we had to kind of recreate that familiar flavor with a little bit of a funk flavor.
Like an
And
umami.
yeah, so it's vinegar and basil and a little bit of cayenne gives it that edge.
That little funk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The star anise is very difficult to incorporate, and it's a very expensive ingredient. But we didn't really need it for what we were trying to accomplish.
Well, I'll be curious to try it as somebody who loves a nice bowl of pho.
Well, don't you think though that every restaurant you go to, if you order pho, there's a little different taste?
100%. And I feel like half
Yeah.
the restaurants out there these days are coming off of a dried mix anyway. I don't know how many are actually boiling bones,
Right.
personally.
Right.
But
Yeah.
one of my favorite things about pho is that little sheen on the top of the bowl of the beef fat. And I know that's not.
You will
I'm
not
gonna
find
I'm
that.
not going to get that here.
No, you will not.
But I would imagine, personally, for me, Loretta, that the Thai lemongrass. is
Yeah, I
gonna be
really
my
like the Thai
go-to.
lemongrass
Yeah.
one. It's really good. I love
So
that.
good.
Thank you.
Thank
We've
you.
been talking with
Sorry.
Lance Kesner and Lori Piha Kesner, our husband and wife co-creators of Millie's Sipping Broth. My guess is you have a co-packer at some point.
We do.
Yeah, I would think.
We started in Seattle. We had to expand to other
Quickly.
facilities.
Yeah.
And now we'll be in 3 different facilities around the country.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. Just to keep up with demand.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
When I perused Amazon last night to buy some, I didn't buy because it was this 4-pack. Now I wish I had, because having just had the one, it makes me
Well, we're
want to try
giving
it.
these to
Yeah.
you.
Well, I know, but I want to purchase.
Yeah.
But having the one makes me want to try all the others. That's
Good.
what I'm
I'm
saying. I think
glad.
it's delicious.
That makes us
That's the
happy.
idea. That's what we're hoping.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
makes us happy.
Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank
Well,
you so
thank
much.
you
And
so much.
congratulations on
Really
all of your
appreciate it.
success.
This has been
Millie's
really nice.
Sipping Broth is the name of the food. It's a comforting broth in a tea bag that is affordable, convenient, and made with real vegetables, herbs, and spices. And if a school teacher is going to tell you that, you have to believe that. All right, on Cairo Radio, it's the Hot Stove Society Show,
Thank you very
97.3
much.
FM.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. What? Oh, thank you. So tired.
I am tired from work. Same idea. But I am down 5.5, 6 hours a night. Can't break out of it.
Really?
Yeah. Your mother, on the other hand,
She's like
She's got
feast
her
or famine.
yeah,
like
she's got
she's
some
like no
insomnia,
sleep
yeah.
or
I just couldn't lay in bed that long. I just get stir crazy.
yeah. My bed is just killing my back and has been
Why
now
don't you
for
order a
like
new bed?
6 months because they're expensive. I have
Priorities.
I have the mattress that you guys had when you had your condo.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, good. Just like that.
Just like that.
They're back.
Oh.
I don't like this school teacher idea.
Oh, don't worry. Don't
Really?
What did you teach?
Kindergarten.
I taught kindergarten.
Where
He's
at?
always putting up people that could kick our butt.
Okay. At public schools
Oh, it's kind of hard. Experts or Nathan Marable.
Which one? Oh, lovely. Is that the one back in like the woods?
Yes.
Oh my God, that is the most beautiful
What'd
school
you guys think of
campus
your sipping broth?
I have ever seen in my life.
Good, huh?
It's so beautiful.
I like the viscosity. I think that it makes it feel like a real sipping broth, which is where I was concerned that it was just going to be more tea-like.
You're the only person that's mentioned that.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah. I mean, you've never gotten a professional chef
Yeah,
to
right.
give us
Uh-huh.
feedback. So maybe other professional chefs have noticed it, but
Well, it kind of sticks to the tongue a little bit. And I think that's a good
Nice.
trait.
thank you.
We're going to be using that word a lot now.
Yeah, we're going to use, yeah.
Viscosity.
Mhm.
All right, last segment. Are you guys ready for this? Gonna finish right on time. Welcome back. It's the Hot Stove Society Show on Cairo. It's time for our Rub with Love Food for Thought Tasty Trivia Challenge. Rub with Love is here to help your New Year's resolutions become reality.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Lots of good flavors. You can find our products across the country in wonderful retailers like Osprey Seafoods in Napa, California, Kowalski's Markets in the Twin Cities of Minnesota and St. Paul, or Thriftway stores here in the Pacific Northwest, plus, as we know, many, many more. Becky, how do we play the game? And I see you've invited the school teacher back to kick our butt.
Well,
And her husband. It's like
Yes.
it's two against
It's a
two
team.
against
We got a
two
team.
against one.
I think
is,
it's going to be a high scoring game.
Do you?
I think
Okay.
they're pretty straightforward questions. So yes, we have Lori and Lance will be the contestants number 2.
From Millie's
Millie's
Sipping Broth
which is
Company.
delicious. And we have we're going to start with Loretta, and the winner will choose someone a lucky person in the audience to take a stroll through the beautiful gift shop around the corner here and pick up a 3-pack of Rub with Love spices. So
All right.
All
Loretta,
right.
you're up.
everyone's a winner.
Okay.
All right, Loretta, number 1.
Loretta, 5 for 5 last week, just by the way.
Saying
Yes.
it's been like 6 months since that happened last. So.
You're not keeping score or anything, are we? Yes. What is the name of the Chinese cabbage with dark green leaves and white stalks commonly used in stir fries and soups?
Savoy.
Bok choy.
Oh,
Cute little
bok
bok
choy is a cabbage.
It is.
It's from the cabbage family.
Mhm.
I thought she was talking about Napa cabbage.
Yeah, Napa or yeah, interesting.
Maybe these are trickier than I thought. What is the French term for the art of preparing and curing meats, including sausage, ham, bacon, pate, and other cold cuts?
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie. You got it. Number 3. True or false? Wine is naturally vegan.
What?
Wine is naturally vegan. Is that true or false?
Depends on how it's filtered.
So false.
It is false. Some wines use animal-based fining agents like egg whites, casein, gelatin, or isinglass, which is from fish bladders, during the clarification process, making them non-vegan. Yep, I learned that this year as well.
Some.
Some, yes, some. Most don't, but I know when they do. Number 4, does Landjäger need refrigeration?
No.
You got it. Does not need it. Landjäger actually is the meaning of country hunter. Reflects its origins of being a snack for hunters and gatherers and travelers. All right.
You have to be German to eat it?
Nope, because
Okay.
I'm not, and I love
All
it.
right.
I eat it all the time. Final question. Which of the following is true about the traditional French bread fougasse? Fougasse. I think you know this.
Okay, we'll see.
A, it is shaped like a leaf or an ear of wheat. B, it is typically stuffed with sweet fillings like fruit preserves. Or C, it originates from northern France where it is served with cream.
A.
Yes, it's got those cute little markings on the bread.
Yes.
Great.
Looks like a pretzel.
I love an olive fougasse. One of
Oh,
my
so
favorite
good.
breads ever.
Well, you got 4 out of 5.
Tallgrass, I think, makes the best one that I've had
Yeah,
over there
so
in
good.
Ballard.
Well, it's like you're at the bakery, the
Fassetti.
Fassetti.
It's
Yes.
not fougasse.
No, but it's that same kind of bread taste, right?
No.
No. I'm getting the stink eye.
Okay.
But it is delicious, that's for sure. All right, Lance and Lori, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to talk right into the mic when
Get
you
right
answer.
in there.
Okay. True or false? Le Creuset's signature products are made from stainless steel. Le
False.
Creuset. That is false. Le Creuset is renowned for its enameled cast iron cookware. Good job. Number 2, amazake is a traditional sweet Japanese drink with low or no alcohol. What is it made from? Fermented something. It might be your new flavor.
Soybean.
Rice.
Oh,
Rice.
Rice.
But good try.
Interesting.
All right. Number 3, what type of milk is used to make manchego cheese? Would you like options?
yes.
Buffalo, cow, sheep, or goat?
Sheep.
It's sheep. It's the milk of Manchega sheep, native to La Mancha, region of Spain. Good job. All right. Number 4, what is an essential ingredient in Japanese tonkatsu sauce?
Boy, that's a hard one.
That is a hard one.
Vinegar or soy.
Vinegar's in there, soy's in there, Worcestershire, and ketchup. So yes, you got 2 out of the 4.
Okay.
How
There
did
you go.
tonkatsu end up with Worcestershire?
Worcestershire.
Yeah.
I know that's so weird.
I'm going to have to do some research. I'll get back to
Yeah.
you next week. All
Something
right.
is not right,
Something's not right?
as Nurse Clavel would say.
Okay. I'll do
Something's
some
very wrong.
very wrong.
Something is not right. That's why I wrote this song.
Madeline. Number 5. What is the primary grape variety used to produce Barolo, often called the king of wines? These guys might have a restaurant that's kind of a tribute to this grape.
We might have one.
Or you do.
Oh boy.
Cabiola. What?
Nebbiolo.
Yeah.
Nebbiolo.
Okay.
Nebbiolo grape is
there
what
we
she's
go.
looking
Okay.
for. And our new Italian restaurant is called Neb.
Neb.
Short,
Yes.
because
Yes.
I am a Neb head.
Mhm.
I love me some Nebbiolo, which is the grape of Barbaresco and Barolo.
Okay.
Only 2 a day.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, 3 out of 5, that was still really good. All right, Tom. The word babka comes from a Slavic word meaning grandmother, inspired by the bread's shape, which resembles a layered skirt. What is the most iconic filling for a modern New York babka? There was a Seinfeld episode about this.
Really?
Uh-huh.
So it's not chocolate?
Yeah, that's chocolate.
It's chocolate?
Chocolate or cinnamon.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, they got in a debate
I
which
am
one
not
was
a
better.
babka person. Are you, Loretta?
I don't eat chocolate, so I'm not a chocolate babka person, but I like a babka.
Do
Yeah.
you? We bought some, we got in our box from Russ and Daughters for a Christmas box, some of the most delicious smoked sable.
Oh my God, that
smoked
smoked
salmon.
sable was so
we got
good.
raspberry arugula, And like almost every other arugula I've ever had, it's just not cooked enough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the inside dough that's
My
rolled
mother-in-law
up.
makes a really good,
Does she?
crispy, delicious arugula.
Crispy.
Mm.
Yeah, come on.
We might have to have her on the show. Give us a little lesson.
Yeah.
All right, number 2.
I'm not what that has to do with babka.
I don't know. I didn't know where you're going
We're
with that
just
either,
in
but-
like the Jewish food groups, I think.
and we did have some Cafe Vita cold shots, so who knows?
If anyone wants the best smoked sable they've ever had, just order
it from Russ and Daughters. It was phenomenal.
Good to know. Okay, number 2. Steak Diane rose to fine dining fame in the 1940s and 50s for its rich sauce and dramatic tableside preparation. What cooking technique gave it its signature flair?
Flambeing?
Yes, it did.
Oh, okay.
Was that a little hint? Or you knew that?
What do you mean? Are you talking about flambeing?
Yeah, you got
the
it. Yeah,
pan.
but
yeah.
I like the little flair. I thought
Yeah,
that was
you
cute.
love a little flair, don't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. True or false? A headline titled "Inside the Delicious World of Designer Produce" featured Driscoll's new designer berries, mimicking flavors like pink lemonade, passion fruit, and even dill pickles. Is that true or false?
I have no idea, but I am so sick of people buying Driscoll's berries in the middle of winter. And Charlie from Charlie's Produce is going to kill me for saying this, but come on, folks, it's January. It's not time for
That
blueberries.
wasn't your question.
Okay.
Some of us have
Okay.
kids for whom berries are like a main
whatever.
food group.
So Charlie is the one who got Driscoll's into the branding of berries.
Oh,
business.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So what
You're
was
gonna answer
Stalling.
the question?
Stalling.
or- Just
So does
stall.
Driscoll's now have a berry that's flavored as a dill pickle? Is that the question?
Correct. Passion
would
fruit
say-
and pink lemonade.
Since you've heard my feelings about it, I would say yes.
Actually, it's false.
Yeah.
Okay. But I liked your answer.
Yeah.
They do have all those new ones now
They
that are
do.
like sweetest batch and
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cotton
grapes
candy.
Yeah.
Cotton candy grapes. That's
Yeah.
exactly that one. Number 4, what ancient cooking technique involves soaking corn in an alkaline solution like water, lime, or ash to soften kernels for grinding and enhance flavor for dishes like pozole?
Oh, this
It's
is
a
one.
long
See?
word.
Does the school teacher know this one?
Kindergarten teacher doesn't.
Well, you can do this process on anything. The last time I had it done on something different with Brayton was at Verjus restaurant in Paris,
Okay.
where he nixtamalized pumpkin.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a great answer.
Yeah.
Good job. Pumpkin seeds or pumpkin itself?
Pumpkin.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So it's just doing a live process on it.
Thank you for not asking me that question, Becky.
Well, let's see if it's going to be a tie with your daughter. Number 5, is konbini, spelled Konbini, a Japanese vegetable, a farming technique where paper hats protect squash as they grow, or a convenience store?
Combini.
Uh-huh.
You look pretty proud of yourself, aren't you?
Can you tell?
Can I have my options one more time because
Sure.
they were ridiculous?
A Japanese vegetable, a farming technique where paper hats protect squash as they grow, or a convenience store?
I want this young lady who just looked it up on Google to give me a 1, a 2, or did you just look it up? Oh no, darn it.
He wished.
Darn it. I thought you were out there just okay. Okay, fine. I'm going to go with paper hats.
That's one I made up. No, it's
That's why
actually
she was so pleased with
it
herself.
was. It's a convenience store. Konbini are known for their efficiency and variety, from ready-to-eat meals to ATMs, and they're coming to the United States soon.
And where are they located now?
In Japan. They're
In
like
Japan.
the 7-Elevens, those kinds of things.
I know
where they
7-Eleven,
do.
yeah.
They do high-end stuff in Japan, in Tokyo. That's a trend.
Is it owned by the 7-Eleven Southland Group?
I think so.
Yes.
Is it? Interesting.
I'll get back to you. So 4 out of 5, you're in a tie. You want a real quick tiebreaker with Loretta?
Yeah.
I
What?
thought I got 2 wrong. She won.
You got 2 wrong. Loretta's the winner.
Yay. Way to go. Pick somebody from the audience. Not this person who did not help me out one bit. If you want to be part of the show, you can join our community on YouTube Live at Tom Douglas & Co. or buy a ticket to join us in the studio at hotstovesociety.com. The show is produced by Becky Guzak, who takes special care of making sure I lose every week. Our technical wizard today is Cameron Thomas, and our talented editor at Cairo is Sean, please don't call me Del Torre. If you miss any episode of our Hot Stove Society show in Cairo, you can listen via podcast. Just subscribe with your favorite podcast app.
Thank you for listening and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Exactly. 2025, our 25th anniversary. I'm sure Sean will cut all that out. Hi, I'm Chef Tom Douglas.
And I'm Loretta Douglas.
Today on the Hot Stove Society radio show, Mckin Hall is going to join us from Plum Bistro with her new book, Simple Goodness. Sam Spillman of Cafe Vita unveils new pours for the new year. And Lance and Lori Kesner are here. They're the co-creators of the delicious Millie's sipping broth. They're going to discuss how they're redefining savory sipping.
All right.
All right.
Woohoo.
Thank you all for journeying out.
Early bird. Well, some just came from right upstairs.